Hey guys, so I'm just going to wing it, got no idea, I've got a million things going through my head. As usual, when I sit down to do this, it's like every pack of cards is talking to me, like, so I've got a million packs of cards, so I'm just gonna like see what I'm drawn to and see what comes up. And what comes into my head, because we never know. So like initially I was gonna go like, I'm gonna go straight to the highest of the high. What would source, what would big ears, what would, whatever you want to call it, him, her, them, our higher selves, the highest of the high, where we come from, our home. Let's just say home. What would home like to get across to us tonight? What message? You know, like a letter from home. Like if, you know, we're away, we've been away for a long time, and what would home, you know, really like to convey to us today? The big bones, giants. Okay, so we've got house. Yep, alright, so, you know, alright. So these are the normal cards, so that's the main card, and we'll get a few others to get some meanings from that. King of the house. So with this one, you know, it's like, what's that fairy tale with the shoe? I can't remember. Anyway, it's the King of Hearts on this, the Lenormand, the house. Card number 4 for King of Hearts. We've got some daisies on there, and it's kind of like a tree house. Okay, so I'll get a few more and we'll look at the book and see what the kind of meaning of that is. But this will be the message from home, and this is the home that we all belong to. No matter what you are, this is where we come from, right? We've got Lily and woman. I'll show you. So pink lily, number 30. The pink woman, number 29. We've got the clover, 2. We've got the mountain, 21, with a stag. And what are we gonna go with? It's just 4 cards. 4. Very good. 5. One more. Now we're gonna go with 2 more. And the dog. God. 10 of Hearts, number 18. Okay. What would home, what message does home want to say? Clouds, King of Clubs. I don't know about you, but some of my most tapped in moments are when I am scrying with the clouds, you know, talking to home. And on the bottom of the deck we've got the Queen of Diamonds, path 22, looking out into the garden path, going up the garden path. Okay, so the mood number 4. A household's energy in every nook and every wall. Welcome to a household's energy in every nook and every wall. Welcome to come and stay a while. Tea is ready to pour. A comfortable sanctuary. Familiar memories that remain. Families may look different, but the bond is just the same. Yep. I actually got a channel message today about having a cup of tea. It's just crazy how this stuff happens. Anyway, the meaning: home is where the heart is. Pliny the Elder, the perfect way to describe the house card of the Lenormand. The house card represents your home, your family, relatives, and any others that are welcomed within its walls. The bond is just the same. We all look different, but we all come from the same place. Okay. Perfect card to start a message from source, so that's handy. All right, so we'll see what the other cards refer to. The Lily of the Valley, peaceful home, patriarchal family, father or grandfather of the family, calm energy in the home, an older home, grandparents of the family, old age home, well lived in home, retirement home, an old family, private property. Yeah, so, you know, the originals, our original family. Source, God. This is our creator. Uh, 29. Woman, nurturer, the lady of the house, female family member, housekeeper, landlady, female relative, female with strong family values, lady of the manor, homeowner, home girl. So we're directing this at the feminine, maybe. She's the Ace of Spades, by the way. So it's something special. So, you know, I guess I'm just gonna go with, like, you know, so many of us think of source as masculine, and you know, even I do, but I guess a masculine's energy is quite like a true, you know, like a true masculine takes up the room, takes your breath away. And maybe, you know, I can't see source as being just one, you know, I I know that whatever source is, there is the feminine and the masculine aspect in both. And I know that whatever you need, you will get from source. So like, you know, due to the fact that source God has been a male figure like for so long, clearly we've all been desiring and needing a strong masculine aspect. But what I'm getting here is that the feminine aspect of source is coming back, and we're tapping more into that and the interplay between them, and that they are of the same entity being, they are of the same place. There is no separating them. The source is both. The source is everything, and you know, whatever we need, we get from source. It's like whatever recipe we are desiring to fulfill our requirements at the time, we get. And you know, or you know, whatever way you want to look at it. But anyway, you could look at a million ways in history, but anyway, I'll bypass that. I'm kind of saying that on my personal experience of source over the last couple of years, is that I get that it is everything. It is friendship, it is a father figure, it is a mother figure, it is a partner figure, it holds everything. So like whatever you need to look at or connect with, you can connect with source in that way. And so I get with this that the feminine is a desired aspect at this time that needs to be established, re-established in a healthy way. Okay. That we all need to tap into the source of the feminine. So get rid of all the shit that's in the way and tap back into the true nature of both masculine and feminine. But yeah, I mean, the feminine's come through here. And I'm getting, you know, home is where the heart is, and the feminine beingness is, you know, we all need to tap more into our right brain feminine aspects, and to heal that, and to tap back into it and connect that with source, that it's one and the same. And you know, like, because so many of us have lost contact with our home, where we come from, because we've lost contact with the feminine, because the feminine is the heart space. So if we shut down our heart, we shut down our feminine, we shut down our creative, we shut down our contact with where we come from, with home, you know. So to get back in touch with our true natures, where we come from, our true source, our true home, even our true masculine, because that's where our masculine resides, is home, is source. We have to go through, we have to get back in touch with our feminine. you can't get to one without the other. Yeah. And to go all the way to connect with source and where we come from. Even to connect with ourselves, we have to connect with our feminine sides. Re-establish a quality relationship with our inner Mother Nature knows best. Okay. Yeah, so like that is Mother Nature, our animal, our instincts, our gut instincts, our Mother knows best thing, and healing all the wounds surrounding Mother knows best. So many of us have got mother wounds. Our Earth Mother has so many wounds, and our relationship with our natural environment, our natural selves, has so many wounds, and that is all connected around the feminine wounds, the feminine pain body, the earth pain body. Like, it is freaking all connected. And so, that's why, like, the pain of the feminine is fucking intense. It's a big pain body. There's so much there. And I feel like, at this point, it's just so hard. It's just too much for a man to go there, because to connect with it, you've got to feel it. You've got to understand it. You've got to actually go there to incorporate that within yourself. And if a guy, like, if the masculine is not willing to look at it from a feminine perspective, he's not willing to incorporate the feminine into his being, and that means that he cannot become a balanced human being. You've got to be to become a balanced human being and return home. You've return to source, feel source, connect with source. You've got to incorporate the feminine into you. To incorporate the feminine into you, you've got to heal the feminine pain body within you. And if you're not willing to look at it or deal with that within yourself, you cannot become a balanced human being. You've got to feel it to heal it. And it is intense. It is intense. But that is how a masculine connects truly with his feminine and every other feminine out there in a healthy way. And this is how we develop healthy relationships between the masculine and feminine. And it goes both ways. I'm saying the feminine has to look at how it has to heal her masculine as well, but the feminine has come up here, so I'm just talking about that. And we'll see what the next ones say. The clover. Oh, I'm going off number 4, aren't I? Did I read the woman? Yeah. Female family member. Number 2. Short-term house rental, temporary housing, fun and carefree family, positive energy in the home. The house, lucky family, happy home. Alright, so we're working towards a happy home. So we're going like the lily was patriarchal family, right? Calm energy, older home, old age home, old family. I mean, maybe this is us moving from the patriarchal to the more balanced home. We've gone to the woman of the home, lady of the house, housekeeper, family relative, strong family values, home girl. Alright, so we're starting to create an actual more balanced home, which is, we're currently, you know, in the short-term temporary housing situation, moving towards positive energy in the home and a lucky family and happy home. Yeah, so hopefully we're becoming more balanced and lucky. 21 Milton. Permanent home, a strange family member, base camp, stubborn family member, distant relative, blocked real estate, distant family member. Okay, so I'm like immediately getting our star family coming through. That we're becoming a blended family. I mean, we are a very blended family. It is not the nuclear family. You know, we have to open our minds to what family is, to what love is, to what a healthy family home dynamic actually is on all levels, from our own like houses to the home, the big house. On a soul level, what home is. Because everyone is of our home, comes from our home. We are all brothers and sisters and cousins, and you know, just leave it at brothers and sisters. That's how freaking closely united, like, we need to feel like we're one big, colourful rainbow family. And you know, we'll all go back to that same home at the end of each of our lives, and again realize that this is a fact. So you know, the best thing that we can do is start opening our eyes and now and considering everyone as our really, you know, tight-knit family. I just had this thought, like, it got really weird when I had a really big awakening, and I had these thoughts that literally everyone is source, like everyone is, so you know, at some point we're all connected, like we are all one. And at the time that I was thinking this, I was laying in bed next to my partner, and I'm like, this is really, it got awkward. It got freaking awkward at that time. I'm like, you know, like I've just had sex with myself or my brother. You know, like the processing in the mind when you're awakening to the fact that we, you know, are all one, like, you know, the law of one and all that. It, like, you know, we're all mirrors to each other and connected and all that. Like, anyway, like, I'm just getting to the point where, like, you know, when you really tap into this thing that we're literally all tentacles from the one body. I mean, we are all tentacles of the one body, which is Source. I mean, you know, something it does your head in sometimes, you know what I mean? And I think this is where I don't know, but like, because I had to process it at that time when I had these thoughts that it's a little bit weird processing having sex with another person and also processing the infinity of the situation, that like literally this person is me in a different body having an experience, but like, you know, we're both Source having an experience. So literally he is me and we're having this experience, and it's and I had like, in that moment, it didn't stay long, but in that moment I had to like deal with, like, think about and process that idea of, well, that's just a little bit weird. And you know, and today I was like reading up a little bit about the Egyptian gods and goddesses, and you know, there's so much when you look into the gods and goddesses, there's so much about, you know, that their like partners were their sisters or brothers, and like, you know, maybe that was the case. Maybe they did the whole, you know, royal blood type thing, and they literally had to procreate with their family members. But you know, maybe it was more that they considered each other like as sisters and brothers from Source, and that means that we all are, you know what I mean? And that's why it got a little bit weird, but you know, I mean, maybe some of them, maybe it's a bit of both, right? But all I'm saying is that like when I consider and talk to my star family, elemental family, earth elemental family, like animal family, I you know, there is this link on a familial level, like brother, sister, sibling, like my star family. We're, you know, brothers of light. We are connected from Source, in that we are of the one consciousness. We're brothers, we're sisters, and that's yeah, where I was kind of going with that. Anyway, I don't know where that started, but alright, 18, dog. pets in the home, neighbours, neighbourhood, friend of the family, tenants, alarm system, friend's house, the dog house, the god's house. Our our neighbourhood friends. I was also getting like this alarm message come through today. I was getting the testing the smoke alarms. Literally, when I was like channeling a message today. I think, I think it's just saying that our friends are in the neighbourhood. It's just funny, like the next card is the clouds, and I was literally, when I was writing that message, I was looking at the clouds, pretty much like waiting for them to come down. Like that's how close I feel like it's going to happen, like imminent, that I'm going to see a massive ship come out of the clouds. Like, part of me would be shocked as hell, but the other part would be like, fucking finally, like you've been teasing me with this for freaking, seems like for forever, but like that's what I feel like they're right there, like right in the clouds, writing in the clouds. I'm right above the clouds. Yeah, but anyway. Confusion surrounding a family member. That would be them, right? Chaotic household. Addicted to real estate. Unclear branding. I was going to read that as breeding, which is classic. Disturbance within the home, turmoil in the family, madhouse, troubled family. Well, that's us down here, and that's us not knowing where we come from, and not so too many of us don't know enough and don't know how to connect. It's the differing frequencies and values and morals. Sacred ground, sacred spirit. Yeah, so okay. So I'm kind of getting that our feminine nature is going to get us through this next step, this next hiccup in humanity's growth. We need to get in touch with the feminine side, our hearts, and open our minds in order to adjust to what is happening, what is about to happen, to peacefully welcome this next step, this next growth spurt that we're all going through, and to understand what's happening, because we can't get all old school macho with what is happening next. We literally need to have a massive world scale ego death and open our hearts to welcome we need to open our hearts and minds, basically, and to do that we need to tap into and heal the feminine within ourselves in order to discover our divine masculine within, because the masculine has been shat on for so fucking long. No one knows what that actually is or looks like or feels like. strangely enough, it is through the feminine, healing the feminine, that the masculine is going to be healed and re-emerge, the divine masculine. Currently, you know, the masculine has just been purposely shat on, abused, manipulated, confused, turned inside out, that no one knows what it truly is anymore. The feminine does. Strangely enough, the true healed feminine, because that's where she comes from, that's her natural go-to, that's her natural instinct, and the natural divine masculine is drawn out, is magnetized to the divine feminine. And this is the beauty and the magic of the masculine feminine, is that even if we have no fucking idea what it is, if we have not had any role models whatsoever of either side in our lives, if you get like activated by love, like if your heart gets activated, and like there is just this natural electromagnetism between the male and female, between feminine and masculine, that if you get activated like at any point by the true feminine or the true masculine, you start your healing process. And it is just this, like, I can't describe it any better than pure. It's a chemical reaction. It's a chemical reaction, and you can't stop it. Once it starts, it continues. And that is what the masculine and feminine do for each other. And once you like get a taste of it, you're looking for more. It is like a moth to a flame. And that's that is like the climb, that is the ladder we climb, we search for, as each like activation takes place, you're equally, both sides of it, masculine and feminine, are activating each other to, you know, to go further and until we reach wherever it is going to go. And you know, I think we're in this like really culmination phase where there is that many more of us being activated. Like, it's taken a long time for us all to get to this point, and I think there is just more activated masculine, there is more activated feminine, and we're just getting to this much more healthy, awakened state. And I can't describe it any more than pure magic, because it literally, it like freaking, it changes you drastically very quickly. I mean, I feel like this is where all stories of spells and fairy tales and just like magic, alchemy, being bestowed gifts from the gods, you know, all these stories come from, because there's just something about when you meet your match, when you when you get activated by an opposite, when the masculine activates the feminine, when the feminine activates the masculine, shit happens within yourself, like, and yeah, like some really powerful, life-changing, soul-changing stuff. And I'm just seeing it everywhere now, and I feel like it is this new earth, age of Aquarius, 144,000. I believe it is, you know, us partners in crime. It is the divine masculine and feminine reuniting to create massive, abundant change within, you know, within us all. And there is just more and more of us being called to follow this path, to see and to guide us and to drag us into next generation human beingness, which is the illuminated, shining human beingness, and creating magical moments, right? You know, creating the scene for showing that it is possible for everyone else to activate everyone else through love, through our fucking magical relationships and connections that, you know, these us individuals that have been activated through love, like, it literally pours out of us, and it literally raises the frequency of everyone around us. And you know, and this gets back to what our home is, and our home is the divine masculine, divine feminine, crazy in love. It's love. Masculine, feminine, united, freaking crazy in love. And that's where the power comes from. And no one can freaking deny it. It's the biggest freaking power, like, you know, the Big Bang. The Big Bang, I bet it was a fucking orgasm. You know, that's it, right? It's the it's explosive when you feel it. You know it. You get completely lost, like you've just created your own universe, and that's what I, you know, that's what I believe that source is, and we're freaking, you know, little horny offshoots, expressions of that grand love. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna get some Egyptian cards and see if any of my favorites want to come out. So, you know, right from the beginning of my when I first got like massive downloads, as you know, I had this idea to look into the Egyptian family tree, the Ra family tree. And I still really want to do it. But it's so funny, like I look at all the old gods, and you know, like there's the Olympians and the Titans, and then there's the Egyptian gods. So you've got the Greek gods, the Egyptian gods, and you know, you've got the Indian gods and the Mayan gods. Like there's so many all over the world, but like if you like look at them, there are so many similarities. Pantheons, and I feel like it's just this puzzle that I want to solve. Like I feel like they're all the same, or is like this metaphor, like a puzzle metaphor of like the elements of like, you know, this one with this one with this one makes this one, this one, this one. Like it's almost a recipe or alchemy of this is where you start, and if you want this, you go this way. If you want that, you go that way. I mean, it's really strange, but there is something about the way our ancient history or whatever has been put together in the history books that inspires me to look further, and it just screams at me it's a puzzle to solve. And you know, obviously it does the same to a gazillion other people, because so many people just get obsessed with this stuff, right? But I mean, I don't know, there is something drawing me to it, and even to the names themselves. Like I'm with my poetry, I'm very much about the written word and the meaning, like in the breakdown, the origin of the letters, of the origin of the word itself, the interplay of a letter with another letter making a word, and that, you know, within a sentence, word after word, creating a freaking story. And with the Egyptian like hieroglyphs, like a picture, one picture creates a like a story, and it's like, you know, like this is what it is. It's like it is all interlinked, it is all connected. Like we are one being, we have one name, but our one being like says a million things. You know what I mean? Like we are a book walking, and we are all interconnected, like a series in a book, a series, yeah, a book within a series, and they're all connected. Somewhere along the line, all our books like interlink. You know what I mean? Like interlinked. And this is how they freaking like they do my head in, and when you start, you know, like truly tapping in and going full on eternity, infinity, like your brain starts, your brain is all of a sudden more often than not in an infinite mode, like literally, like, and you know, this is what, like, going from 3D to 4D to 5D, your brain goes from what's freaking straightforward in front of you to literally infinity thinking on all levels at all times. The connections between everything become that much more obvious. Like, you know, you could be in your 3D mind, next minute something takes you to infinity and you connect with source in a new way, and then come back out of that 5 minutes later, you could be back in infinity mode, connecting with, you've gone through to meet source, like all the way to infinity through a completely different avenue. Yeah, anyway, I haven't had, you know, like, I don't know, I think there's more and more people, you know, living this way. You know, it's 5D thinking and above. You become that much more infinitely aware. And you know, when you get to that point, like, everything is connected. You can, you know, your take it from your relationships to anything, like the atoms in the table, or you know, you can, it's like you're swimming through consciousness at this point. And I don't know where I was going with that either. But you know, I think that's like the creative mind, the feminine mind, and you know, but we all do have it, and I think that's like where the difference between masculine and feminine, like currently, like men think that women are fucking batshit crazy because we show more signs of this seeing everything from every angle way of thinking, and if a man is not like fully aware of that level of thinking, he thinks that she's batshit crazy, she's seeing stuff that's not there. But in reality, women are just that much more inclined to be right brain creative thinking, tapped into creation. So creation is like infinite. Creation is multiple personalities. It is it's multi-dimensional. It is from every angle. It is all possibilities, and that is the feminine mind, the right brain mind. That is like how many different ways you can look at a situation. That is how many ways can you feel about a situation. And the left brain mind, if your right brain mind is really not very active, you are looking at it from purely logical, the only way you've ever looked at it or been told to look at it. So, you know, if you want to look at things from a different perspective, you've got to activate your right brain, which is your feminine, your creative side. To really get into the right side, you've got to open your heart. Because it's like layers. It's like layers, and depending on how open your heart is, it reflects how open your brain is. I think. Anyway. Oh my god. Anyone that reads my stuff, Min is in all my poetry. Min is my man. Fertility and creation. And this is the absolute magic that they show me daily. And like, you know, I write stuff that I don't even like post, and Min is in a lot of it. Most of it, all of it. Min's in my mind constantly. As a divine feminine, the divine masculine is a part of my mind. Like lightning, he inspires me to rise higher. You know, we drive each other crazy. The masculine, like, it is equal craziness on both sides. Like, we're both divinely inspired by the other half. Like, my other half, like, literally makes me want to melt, brain dead, drooling, and at the same time lights me up. And activates me to be more me, which seems to literally then make him drool, go brain dead, and activate him. It is just pure magic what we can do for each other. Yeah. So, you know, that's what my Min did for me. And, you know, part of him is always in my head. You know, and that's like, you know, my divine masculine side. So we got the Ankh, energy healing, sexual healing. Dormutif, earth spirit. Imset, air spirit. Well, we got all the canoptic jars here. Happy, water spirit. Oh my god, you guys. So we've got 3 canoptic jars. Set, Dormutif, happy, the Ankh, which is the key. We've got Min and we've got Mart. divine feminine, divine masculine, like balance, justice, earth, grounding, pureness, divine, cosmic justice, fertility and creation, energy, healing. So this is like bringing cosmically healing what we've created. Water spirit, earth spirit, air spirit, happy, bringing it all back into balance, and you know, masculine, feminine energy healing is the key, you know, to do this. Cosmic justice. Mart's got us freaking covered. So 3 canoptic jars. So I was actually listening to another Dolores Cannon book, and in one of them they were like talking about that, you know, all this mummification stuff actually started from when some group of beings that were using Egypt as a base or something were resurrecting dead bodies through, I don't know whether it was cloning or some method of bringing dead bodies back to life. I'm guessing it's some kind of cloning thing, and their methods of what they did at that one time were kind of like seen, recorded in some way, and carried down through, you know, generations after, thinking that, you know, we could, you know, there was this afterlife that we could bring them back from. Like a lot of the stories were interpreted in some different, you know, kind of not exactly correct ways. Like, you know, they all came from somewhere, and a lot of it was from, you know, a lot of these old god and goddess stories were actually, you know, stories from literal our history, but they've been you know, kind of interpreted a bit weirdly over the years, obviously, because, you know, what was possible for them became, you know, it was not possible for us, so it became like weird god fairy tale shit, rather than our, you know, star family literally were had the capabilities to do things that would blow our minds and just don't like even fit in with our laws of physics and science and shit. Like, we have no idea how they would, you know, carry these things out, but we're like literally, you know, it's just part of their beingness in order, you know, they would do these things. And yeah, so like that's where like we've just been mind blown by these stories, like how would they freaking move those big stones and stuff like that. And yet, like, for them it's child's play, because all it is you know, consciousness, power, like heart, mind, like that's the level of difference of understanding what the power of your thoughts and consciousness evolution, like a little bit of consciousness evolution, like tapping into a certain thing, and then your reality can change dramatically. What you're capable of doing and understanding changes fucking drastically, like as soon as your consciousness, like, once you open your mind, once you tap into just like a little bit of this stuff, it's like literally like reality changes. Like can you imagine manipulating matter? Because all it is putting your thoughts within, understanding that consciousness, your matter can go into that matter, that you are one and the same. And if you can connect and communicate and adjust yourself and that matter, like, you can literally do anything. And that's when you become godlike, like creators, is when you can manipulate matter through consciousness. And that is just next level control over your emotions and over your energy. It's energy manipulation, and manipulation sounds bad, but like control over understanding energy dynamics. And it all can only start within your own heart, right? You've got to be fully in touch with yourself, your heart, because your heart is the core of your energy. That's where your beat starts, your energy. You've got to be in touch with yourself in order to get to that point of connecting and communing with other energies, with sound, with telepathy, with anything. It all starts from the heart. You can try and understand it logically, and you can logically with the brain, but if you actually want to connect with it, commune with it, become it, be a part of it, the heart has to be involved. Like to a certain degree. I believe that for balanced communion in any way, the heart has to be healed. The heart has to be free, like open. This is beautiful. Creative power. So we got fertility and creation with men, cosmic justice with Mart, energy healing with the Ankh, happy water spirit, I'm Set air spirit, and Mut earth spirit, Demutef. I was literally thinking about Mut, looking into Mut today. I haven't read this one, the Demutef, but I'm getting Mu. I'm getting Mu energy. That came through today about the energies in the crystals. Ra is always coming through. Happy's been coming through a lot. Ma and Min come through a lot, and so does the egg. So it's really freaking awesome. Yeah. Alright, so air, water, and earth, and creative power. It's kind of getting like, because I was like looking into the triads and everything today. By the power of three. Like what is it? Oh God, I'm so not religious. I don't even like Father, Son, Holy Ghost, earth, air, water, neck bed protection, like the, you know, the Trinity that creates. And I was just kind of getting like air, water, and earth. Like that's pretty much it makes our home here. And it's like we're the fire. Like those three kind of make us, which we create like this fire inside ourselves to then create, to become chemical reactions. Like we are the chemical reaction from these, you know, three elements, the triads. And there's so many triads, it's really funny. Cell cap, magical protection. Okay, so we got protection. What? Create the power, cosmic justice. We're being protected. Creation's being protected. Our spirit. Go to the Isis one. This is getting a little interesting here. I'm getting little. What's going on? Mother of life. They're not Isis. You know, like sometimes these thoughts come into my head and I'm like, was that me, or was that like a naughty freaking fairy in my head? Because sometimes, like, you know, naughty thoughts, and I swear to God it's not me, but it is, but not really. And they're so naughty and cheeky. I was just looking at the I was just looking at the picture of the, you know, the Min card, and I immediately started thinking about recent poem that I did, and it talks about alright, so I mean, this is freaking them, right? Like, I just got this song in my head, tie me up, I wanna be yours, you know that song, whatever that is. But anyway, like in my in my poem, it came through as like, is it shibari? Yeah, like the Japanese rope, you know, the sexy rope tying stuff. And, you know, that just popped into my head when I looked at the Min card. You know, I think there's some definite horny ladies in my soul group. Passionate, healthy women. Talismans of potency, charging sacred objects of power. Charge me up. I was just like, I've been reading through, just over the past couple of days, reading through all the stuff that I've written, all the poetry, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know poetry, writing odes to, and I mean, so much of it is like ode to the masculine, really. And when I read this card, charging sacred objects of power, it took me to one of my odes, poems that I wrote, that like the masculine, like being with my man, was like, here's my charger. He charged me up in a way that nothing else can do, and that's what I feel like that we do for each other. And when it's true, like when you're really giving it to each other, you know, authentically, when it's, you know, truly given by the other person, it charges you. And when you're aware, you know, so it goes both ways. Like your plugs have to be, your energetic, your heart plugs have to be kind of on the same, like kilowatt level, you know what I mean? Like you have to be receptive to each other's energy. Like you have to be able to take it and give it to what they can take, you know what I mean? Like matching. And there's just nothing like it. There's nothing else like it. It's like saying, baby, supercharge me, I want to be supercharged. And they're like, fuck yeah, I can supercharge you. Plug yourself in, go for it. And you do it. It's that level of like authenticity. It is not trying to plug it in on the sly or like kind of siphon it in some kind of weird way. This like, can you charge me? And they're like, yes, plug it in. I want to charge you. I want to fucking overload you. That's what it's like. And a lot of the time, like initially it's completely subconscious and you're like, what the fuck energy is this that I'm getting right now? Is like going to fry my brains. But yeah, it wakes you up, and this is what we do for each other. You don't know what's going on until further down the track, because like you don't know what it is, you've never experienced it before, and all of a sudden you just feel so damn fucking good, and you've just been silently plugged into their magic. You know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean, because I feel like everyone should know what it feels like to go from trying to having without doing anything, because it's just the right freaking plug that's just been plugged into you. You got no idea. It's like going from some bullshit old charger on your phone to one of these super quick fucking chargers, like literally like charging your phone to full in 1 hour rather than 4. And you're like, what kind of magic is this? And then like even more than that, it's like it's updated your phone and fixed your cracked screen and made your screen bigger all in one just from plugging it into that one freaking plug. And you're like, what? Something magic is going on. The Lunar Queen, she of the celestial crescent. Should we read that one from the book? Let's take a look. Ancient power mysteries. Yeah, indeed. Hear the rattle of Isis playing. Divine Sunchild, blessings of the Sun Falcon. See what the Lunar Queen says. Numbers. The Lunar Queen, she of the celestial crescent. I've just got current coming through my brain, which has been like kind of a repeating thing, like the energetic currents of like cosmically, like the Milky Way. Like literally there's energetic winds in the sky constantly, which truly does affect us. From small scale to large scale, like energy winds, energetic winds, like you know, like on Nemo, like the roaring 40s, you know, in the oceans, like there's currents, like energetic currents that move depending on many things. So like we can all understand the currents of the ocean, which literally, like whether it's a El Nino or El Nina kind of thing going on, can change the seasons drastically, and that sort of thing happens with the currents of the ocean to the weather on the land, and that all that kind of dynamic is also happening in energetically in the you know, above us in the stars and everything as well. Like there are flows going on within everything. There is a deep feminine wisdom that recognizes the importance of cycles of rest and replenishment as essential balancing to our actions of power and demonstrations. You are asked to allow the replenishment for yourself now, trusting that you are in a cycle of creation that is about to shift into a new phase. Release and enjoy the process without having to control or force it. This is the feminine flow coming back in, like I said, kind of at the start, I think. You know, and it's not like just for the girls. This feminist creation is your right. For any like logical men that would watch this, it is your right brain. It is your creative side. Like, it is your magnetic side. It is your manifestation side. It is whatever way you want to look at it. There is a million different ways to look at the masculine, feminine, whatever works for you at the time. The celestial crescent is the moon in her changing form. This oracle comes to you at a time when you are shifting from one phase in your spiritual and creative journey into a new phase. This is a time to pay deep attention to the messages of your body and allow them to guide you. Balance. Getting in touch with the flow and the present moment and your body and your divine feminine. Alright, so there's that. It's time to charging sacred objects. Hear the rattle of Isis playing, being tuned, and blessings of the sun falcon. I think we're being tuned by the sun and the cosmos. Things are changing. And we've got rising sun, the divine solar child reborn. Well, that's really cool. I haven't seen that one yet, so I'm just going to see what that one says. A dark phase and struggle is over. A new phase is upon you, one of hope, glory, light, and triumph. It is one through boldness, persistence. Even when you felt like giving up, you chose to stay strong, to surrender to the divine and continue with the path. You have been through much, and now victory is upon you, beloved. The divine soul child, a new consciousness within you is born. As we journey into the ancient feminine, there are many, many times when we meet her dark face. We must be patient, accepting, allowing. Often what we meet are the difficulties of birth, literal and symbolic. We might feel great emotional or physical pain, spiritually bereft, alone, and yearning for deeper union. Perhaps even wondering if what you seek could be a genuine experience, or if it is the stuff of daydreams and fantasies. During times of despair and struggle, we come back to our hearts, searching for faith within, searching for signs to support us as we take the long journey down the spiritual birth canal into love in even greater expression. They might take us weeks, months, or many, many years to birth ourselves over and over again into more of our divine essence. Some birthing processes that are deeply profound will feel as though they take most, if not all, of our lifetimes on this planet. At another level, many lifetimes will constitute one birth process. However, no matter how much we encounter the inner workings of the womb of the divine feminine, there are always moments of entering the light of birth into a new world, as a new being into reality transformed. These moments are precious and herald the beginning of a new level of divinity expressed, often in deeply creative new ways. The divine soul child being born brings new light into your life, likely to express itself in multiple forms, revived and new relationships, new inspiration and opportunities in your work and spiritual life, more love and enjoyment, new or more energized community, greater well-being and experience in your body, creative abilities that you didn't even realize you had opening up effortlessly as you surrender to allow the body and creative faculty to flow. These are some of the gifts that are given to you by the universe at the cosmic baby shower for the birth of the divine soul child. The sweetness of the gifts of this new life make all that came before it so sacred and worthwhile. To honor and accept the past and the courage it required of us, and yet to accept that it is now time to turn our face to the light and partake of the fruits of our inner labors is what that this oracle ordains, symbolized by the headdress of cow horns with a golden disc within, worn by Egyptian goddess, including Isis, and the symbolism of Isis nursing her divine son child Horus at her breast. The oracle of the rising sun brings with it a new day, dawn, breakthrough, end of struggle, and the genuine and stable birth of optimism and hope for you now. The house of the rising sun. Well, this one wraps it all up really nicely, and this is where we're at as a species, as our consciousness level awakens. We're birthing ourselves anew. And it's really quite magical as you're going through it, and it just heals. It seems to heal everything of the past, like magically, because you can kind of all of a sudden see that all that shit is what got you, gave you what you now have in order to be where you are. Like, it could have gone a gazillion, million, trillion different other ways, obviously, but you can be thankful for everything, every pain you've ever been through, and not just your pain in this life. It's like you get to the point where you're like, you can see the process of everything to get you to the point where you are. It's everything. And you know, it's a beautiful thing to go through, to be that thankful for all the shit, because you love yourself so much in the moment and where you're at and your connection. Because your connection comes from the level of gratitude that you hold in the moment for how special that connection is. Like, if you don't go through the hell, you can't feel how special true connection and true love is, to really appreciate it, and what that appreciation and connection to and receival of that level of love that you get to through pain, it literally takes your breath away. And like, everything that you've ever been through you wouldn't choose to go through that, but like in the moment of true connection, in love, and seeing the world through the eyes of like an enlightened one, like literally going through the dark and coming out into the light. There is nothing else like it. And once you do that, and you become enlightened, like literally it's like we're all digging a hole to shine. Like we're all literally, our lives are like, we're literally digging, and to finally dig your hole, to finally get to the other side, to finally free yourself from that hole by digging yourself out of it. You don't, like with anything, you don't know what it's like until you experience it. And that's where you experience source consciousness, like true love, true connection, with like a vision of who you are, of where you come from, what you're connected to, what you've just been through, with like masks taking off, with clear eyes, clear vision of it all. And it is after you've literally dug yourself out of a hole, and that it does take mammoth effort to do that, to dig yourself out of a hole, rather than try and climb out. If that makes like any sense to you. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Probably like the longest one ever. Have a good one.